Hey, hey, hey! It's coffee time. Indeed, we start with a sad story. This is the assassination of Shinzo Abe, who's Japan's longest-serving prime minister. The news broke early this morning. Mr. Abe was doing a promotional talk. He was promoting another prime ministerial candidate when his assailant, supposedly an ex naval person, but again, I'm just shocked by the whole thing. I've got to get my head together. The guy approached him and shot him in the chest and neck using a homemade gun, I reckon, and he bled out. It was not like they could do. And again, Shinzo Abe, he was from a long dynasty of politicians, and again, he's a pretty inoffensive character. And here we are. Here's a picture of him at the actual talk. He served in 2006, 2007, and 2012 to 2020. He resigned due to health issues on both occasions, and here he is at the talk. And this was shortly before he was shot. They managed to capture it all on camera. But yeah, Japan is a country where it's incredibly difficult to buy a gun, even harder to buy ammunition. And this fellow built his own gun, maybe 3D printed it. You don't know, but again, it's a shocking thing, and it's wickedness. This supposed Navy veteran, for whatever reason, he's been named, but he was arrested at the scene, bundled to the floor. But yeah, wickedness in this world, it's always shocking. Again, I know we don't like our politicos sometimes, but they don't deserve that. Yeah, real shocker. Seeing as, again, I always remember him meeting our prime ministers. He was very visible on the world stage and did a lot of good stuff for Japan in terms of their economy. Abenomics he brought out to stimulate the Japanese economy. Yeah, but again, it's a shocking. Whenever you hear anything like this, I find it quite shocking in the world. Meanwhile, we're moving on from Johnson's departure. Well, he hasn't gone. He's still there. There's been a lot of debate whether he should have just walked out. Again, when Thatcher did it back in the 90s? God, it was a long time ago now. Was it 90? When she did it, there was no big thing going on. There was no wars. We got war. There's an active war in Europe. I think it's different. Maybe Dominic Raab should have stepped up. But then it goes back to what I was saying about Johnson never really trusting his deputy to fully look after things for him. And so what we have now is not only would you have the leadership battle where there's 12 contenders lining up, each one of them more duller than the next. Ben Wallace apparently is the favourite according to any result you want gov poll. Ben who? He's the defence minister, who's again bald. Bald men never do well in politics. So just putting it out there, voters like a full head of hair because they're baldest. But on the other side, we've got Labour. Labour seems to be having an interesting time because not only we got Beergate, severe beer karma. I'm making up the jokes here. I'm laughing at my own jokes. Sir Keir Starmer, and Rayner are still waiting to see if they're going to get a fine. Some people reported last week that they got the fine. But wait a minute, Sir Keir hasn't resigned, has he? Because he said he'd resign if he was fined. Now imagine Durham police do actually fine Sir Keir. I'm going to say that joke until you laugh at it. I know I laughed at it, but imagine, and he has to resign. And would Rayner resign as well? I don't know. And then there'd be 2 leadership battles going on at the same time. And then our political system would be in complete upheaval, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? And poor old Boris has had to cancel his wedding party. He was going to hold it at Chequers because he didn't have a wedding party because of COVID. You know, so he was going to throw a bash this summer. And now they're saying, but Boris, you can't do that. You can't do that because you've resigned. But he hasn't resigned. He's still there. Meanwhile, last night, ex-Prime Minister Theresa May was spotted having a good time. There we go. She's doing her dance again. Hey! But she ain't coming back. But anyway, let's not worry about politics. Let's not worry about politics. Let's talk about Marburg virus. Yes. There's fears over a new outbreak of one of the world's deadliest diseases. Yes, Marburg virus from Ghana. Apparently there have been 2 patients have died from it in the southern Ashanti region of the country. Yeah, you bleed out your nose, mouth and eyes. It's a bit like Ebola, really. Apparently it is. It's a deadly cousin of Ebola, and it kills between a quarter and 90% of everyone who gets infected. Hooray! So, who reckons there'll be Marburg virus on the streets of Catford by next Tuesday? I reckon so. But don't worry about that. Don't worry about existing viruses. What you want to be worried about are potential new viruses, because researchers have been studying 21 glaciers in the Tibetan Plateau, and we all know about the glaciers, don't we? What's that thing that everyone goes on about? Global warming, that's it. And in these glaciers, they've taken samples from, and they've found evidence of over 698 microbes. Most of them have never been seen before, and of course some of those microbes are probably very deadly to, well, not only us but other life forms. So there's global warming, these microbes would be released into the air, and hooray! But yeah, luckily the majority of the microbes were, they reckon are okay. But we've all seen, have you not seen those horror films where scientists, unearth something in the ice? What's that one? The Thing. It's like The Thing all over again. But don't worry, folks. You've got more to worry about. There's a global chickpea shortage, which has been worsened by the Ukraine war, which could mean, steady yourself as I just get the stock picture in place, a shortage of hummus. Yes, folks, we're living through a hummus shortage. Oh my God, how are we going to survive this Marburg virus, I'll get it right in a minute, and a possible hundreds of microbes in the ice that are going to be released. Oh, what are we going to do? But don't worry about that. Don't go to Tenby in Pembrokeshire. Tenby's in Wales, Welsh Wales. Don't worry about Marburg or microbes or assassination or that asteroid. Do you remember the asteroid I talked about? Don't worry about that. Why, Darren? What should we worry about more? We should worry about going for a swim in Tenby, because there's a 12-foot shark. There's a 12-foot shark swimming around the coast of Pembrokeshire. Got to keep him out of the water. We've seen that film. But yeah, apparently Alex Bruce, who was a member of the local sailing club, caught this footage on his camera. So don't worry. Just worry about the sharks instead. Don't worry about anything. But worry about extraterrestrials using quantum communication to send their messages across interstellar space. Apparently there's a new mathematical model that's been produced from a team at the University in Edinburgh, which reckons that we're being bombarded with all sorts of messages. I do have a stock picture here from Shutterstock of an alien. This may not be the alien who sends the messages. There he is. We're going to call him, I don't know, Gareth. Gareth the alien. He could be sending us quantum messages, which of course we're too stupid to figure out what they mean. But yeah, they've been investigating the idea of quantum communication here on Earth, as a thing, and it's all about quantum physics. But that's all beyond my ken. I don't know what quantum physics is, so maybe you should worry about that. I don't know. Oh yeah, James Caan, the famous actor, Hollywood actor who's been in loads of movies, Godfather, Misery. Do you remember Misery? He was the author who had his feet broken by Kathy Bates. He died, unfortunately. Again, I was a big fan. He was in Rollable. Who remembers Rollable? I used to show that a lot when we were kids. Do you remember being a kid? Do you remember that? I remember being a kid. But yeah, he died. He was in Elf as well. You Sit on a Throne of Lies. And I just thought I'd mention it because I like James Caan. Tough guy. 4 marriages. That's what you want. What else have we got in the news? Let's have some crime. Do you want some crime news? All right then. Just waiting for my brain. I've updated my computer to Monterey. I've been waiting for ages, just in a sad attempt that it might squeeze a little bit of performance out of it. But have you thought of recording these and then editing the footage together so that it wasn't so clunky, Darren? But where would the fun be? This is the story of Inderjeet Kaur. Here she is. She looks like a nice lady. So what's she been up to? She's of Llanelli in South Wales. Don't worry, she's not been near the 12-foot shark, but she was at Swansea Crown Court recently. And what has she been doing? She has been travelling across the UK. Swansea, Carmarthen, Birmingham, London in the last few years, 2018 to 2020. And she's been sitting 150 driving tests for other people. And yeah, so the 29-year-old has been impersonating candidates. And yeah, it's only when people start getting suspicious, you've got a familiar face. But yeah, Detective Chief Inspector Steve Maloney said Kaur put lives at risk by sitting tests for unqualified drivers. It explains why there's so many bad drivers on the road. That's not good, is it? Yeah. She was jailed for 8 months for doing this. But it's not good, is it? That's not good at all. Meanwhile, more crime news. We're going to Manhattan. This is the story of Pearl Azoria, Chitara Placencia, and Tiziana Johnson, and they're all of Brooklyn. This is they were at the Ludlow Street Belfries restaurant at Manhattan's Lower East Side on Saturday at 4 a.m. and they got a bit angry. And we do have the footage of them getting angry. He says, let me just pull it up. Here they are. They're smashing the restaurant up. Look at them going crazy. That's not a good look. So yeah, these 3 ladies, they got really angry and smashed the restaurant up. They threw chairs around. There's a still of them throwing the chairs around, and a member of staff filmed all this because that's what you do. And they pulled down the special barrier to protect them and everything. It got very, very aggressive. And why? Would they have been insulted? No, it's because they was asked to pay $1.75 for extra sauce, and they was having none of it. In fact, they were supplying the extra sauce. Yeah, not good. Not good, not good at all. But let's have some animal news. Do you want some animal news? This is the story of Claire Welsh. She's a fishmonger from Welsh's Fishmonger in Edinburgh. Not Welsh. Welsh is the name, not the place. And they were lucky. They got a massive catch. This is a halibut, and this halibut, well, wait till you see it. It's ridiculous. It is. Oh, wait a minute. I've got to get everything queued up. This is a big halibut, right? Look at it. It's 6 foot long, right? And he's posing with another fishmonger called Jimmy Mack. He's 5'10", but the fish itself is 6 foot long, right? And 19 stone. Yeah, wow. And they reckon it can make 150 portions of fish and chips out of it. Mind you, we're gonna need a bigger potato. Jaws, potato, bigger boat, bigger potato. No, that's not very good. That, not very good. But that's a big fish, isn't it? What a big fish. Oh no, they're coming to get me. They're coming to take me away again. But we go from one fish to another. We're going to Japan now, and this is some footage of a penguin in Japan. If I can pull this one up. Where was it? It's an aquarium in southern Japan. It's called the Akonan Aquarium, and it was reported on the news. Oops. If I can just get it queued up, because you know what it's like. I'm trying to get everything to work, and nothing's working. They made the decision. They made the decision to have cheaper fish, and the penguin's having none of it. He's like, "What? I want some of that halibut." The penguins are being fussy, but obviously those fellas aren't. The penguin was actually being fussy with the fish. Can you believe that? Because they've got a cheaper brand of fish. So he's a bit of a bon vivant, is that penguin? Look, don't want it. I want the expensive fish. So there we go. Who'd have thunk it, eh? The penguin can actually tell the quality of fish. Just save money, cheaper fish. Penguin says no. So isn't that funny that the penguin is a discerning customer of fish. And I think we'll leave that there. I think I've done enough damage today. Let's see if there's anybody in the chat room. I don't know if me upgrading to Monterey has made any difference to the performance of the computer. I think there may have been a slight stutter, but any issues, probably just me pressing all the buttons at the wrong time. Because like I said, it'd be much better if I just edited this all together. But then you don't have that kind of that naked fear and the white of my eyes that you get when I'm doing this live. Is this all going to go wrong? Let's have a look who's in the chat. Oh, we have people in there. Paul's in. He says hello. Hello, Paul. All right, love. I can call him that because that's his name, Paul Love. Payne says it really is shocking news from Japan. Yeah, that fish being not expensive enough for that penguin. It was shocking, that, wasn't it? I'm joking. He's talking about the assassination. He's giving me another £1.79. Why £1.79? The missus wants to know, what is it for with £1.79? Is there a hidden meaning to it? And he says, all right. Payne says, it's a Welsh nationalist shark waiting for the English tourists. Now says, ask Hawkwind about the alien thing. Well, I think isn't that what the Hawkwind have been doing all these years? That's why nobody understands them. They've been doing quantum verses. Payne says, alien message decrypted was, hello, my name is Henry, calling about your Microsoft computer. From India. Left Brake Viner says, bad drivers cause donkey drivers can get international driver's license. yeah, I'm not quite sure what you mean, but yeah, there's a lot of bad driving out there, and the worst thing is they have electric cars, so you can't hear them coming anymore. Chris says, any Pink Floyd related news? No. Oh, there is actually. Roger Waters started his tour and he annoyed some people. Now, I'm paraphrasing this because I don't have the item at hand, but he plays a little message before the gig where it says, the show's about to start. Would patrons kindly stop using your mobile phone? And also, if you're one of those people that says, "Oh, I like Pink Floyd, but I don't like Roger Waters going on about politics. Can you fuck off to the bar now?" And that's kind of had an interesting response by the fans. Payne says the Penguin can pick up a difference. Now, again, that's only for the British fans. They're only going to get that reference. But it reminds me of that story. Why don't polar bears eat penguins? It's because they can't open the wrappers. And also, penguins and polar bears live on different continents, don't they? But as a kid, you don't care. You're doing the penguin joke and polar bear joke, you know. Anyway, thanks for watching, and thanks to Harry for the money, because, you know, I like money. Or 179 of it. And we'll do this all again soon. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and if you haven't, well, you know, just thumbs it down like you do every day. Every day. One thumbs down. Just to let me know. I worry when there isn't a thumbs down. Are they all right? Sure, I haven't had a fall. And yeah, hopefully do this all again soon. James G said, ignore my comment. I shall sulk for the rest of the day. Where's your comment, James G? Oh, sorry, I didn't. Yeah, I was too. Do you know what? I was distracted by Harry's £1.79. I'm ever so sorry, James. Morning, Darren. Warm one for gardening. Much cooler than Japan, where my dear wife is. Shock about Shinto Abe. It was a shocker. Sorry, I got distracted. Look, if I show you the whoa there. Look, I'm going to show you what I see. Look, I get that. And that big flashy thing, I'm sorry, you got to compete with that. You know, you got to compete with that, James. DJ says, what do you think about A Rise Up? You mentioned it a little in your Animals review, but I don't know if you gave your thoughts on the track. I told you, I've given my thoughts on it. It's a charity single, and that's all I'm going to say. Come on. What, you want me to criticise a charity single? What, you think I'm some sort of cretin? No, it's a charity single. It could be Dave Gilmour farting into a cup for 20 minutes, and I'd still say, well done, Dave, if all the money's going to charity. You know, it's a worthy charity. Again, Gilmour has explained it. He's got now through marriage and various relations, he's got people who are in the Ukraine, and so it's a very personal thing for him. And they knocked together a nice little charity single. I don't see Roger Waters doing the same, do I? I see him instead lauding Putin and saying, oh, well, NATO expansionism, mate, is what made him do it, Gov. Yeah, all right. And so, what do you want? You want me to musically assess a charity single? Really? We've been over all this. This is about the 4th or 5th time I've said this, because you people ain't listening. Go watch the videos. It's all in the videos, you know? It's a charity single. Everyone go and listen to it. Stream it, download it, buy the single. You know? Get it to number 1. There we go. Chris says, how many penguins can you buy for £1.79? I don't know. Not a lot these days. Have you seen the price of Lurpak? Anyway, I'm going now because we had another spurt of comments. James G says, no contest, £1.79 wins. I was distracted by the shiny things, you know. Anything like, well, there's cyan as well, which is one of my favourite colours. Cyan, magenta. Who remembers the ZX Spectrum keyboard, eh? I think that's where it goes back to. It's like it's a primeval thing. Cyan, I'm just like, and £1.79. I mean, God, you've bought me, you know. Anyway, have a good weekend, everyone. I'll try and get out again. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. And yeah, this has been the news, and it's not all good news, unfortunately. And a sad day for Japan, isn't it? Really shocking. Again, the nation itself is in a state of shock and mourning because they have very low, you know, gun issues. Very hard to buy a gun in Japan. Look into that. It's very difficult. They interview you, your family, your friends, and it's even harder to buy ammunition. But this guy built his own gun, so you'll never be able to stop that. And with 3D printing, you can print your own guns. It's a shocking world we live in, that people just want to shoot people. I don't know. But nobody wants to shoot Putin. Shame. Anyway, that's the news. Drink it up, and we'll do this again soon. Ta-da!